And we are live. Sorry about that. We had technical difficulties on top of me actually being tardy. So I was, my preparation for this show every week. I look at several different things, look at the chat and Discord, look at different things going on in Splinterlands. And if I said that there's been a lot of things going on in Splinterlands this week, that would probably be putting it lightly. So welcome to the 111th version of the Saturday morning stand up. Thanks for dropping by. I do appreciate your time as always. Lots of things that we can discuss, mostly around Conclave Arcana, but frankly, I've put a lot of work into my land this past week. As you can see, I was actually late because I got off on a thought process about what I had originally planned to do with Conclave Arcana, and that has kind of changed. In fact, I sold off all my normal summoners that I had gotten my pack openings, and I was going to buy gold foils. However, and bring them up to the silver level, so to speak. I know it's called something different now, but level 4. And the gold foils have really shot up. I mean, when they first came out, I expected the opposite. I expected the prices to be high at the beginning and start to go down, but the gold foils and frankly the standard foils have just continued to go up. So we'll take a look at those numbers, but that's why I was late. I was thinking about this and I was watching a chat going on in Discord and I was like, wow. So let's go ahead and jump in chat and we can talk about it. I did make one purchase this morning and it was actually for land. We can talk about that if you want to. But as you know, my main focus is on land. We can talk about those. Lots of different topics we can talk about. So it's up to you. Let me know in chat what you want to talk about. Let's see. Gatherings here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. I checked out your 2 openings this week. Gathering says, good morning. How is everyone liking or disliking the new modern? Any new meta teams people like to use? I wanted to jump into the new modern. However, I haven't because of my focus on land, and mainly I sold off my Archons. Like I just said, planning to buy some gold foil Archons. However, now the gold foils have jumped in price, and I'm at the situation, originally, they were going for about $9. Now I'm like $13.50 per BCX, and I have to buy 4 BCX to get up to silver level. So I'm really rethinking this and thinking about just, concentrating my purchases back on land and just not worrying about this. But we can check out. Okay, so I had pulled these numbers up and we can look at it because these are pretty interesting to me. Bolts 85's in the house. Eves Lemelin is here. Good morning. Our Faded Glory Plays is here. Thanks for dropping by as always. Bolt says, good morning. I really haven't been playing ranked battles with a Z. However, I have been Ghost Modern Challenging, which is insanely fun. I might try that out because a lot of people say the Ghost Card Challenges are a fun way to get in and learn, basically kind of learn the new set, right? He continues, going to write up that one, Bronze Dragon. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm not perfect. And I try to get in and do some looking at numbers and things to have some things to talk about, right? And I just got over. My concentration was on the cards, and I forgot to go live. Yeah, so we've got my standard. In fact, I need to order some more of these. I try to only drink one per day. Some days I drink coffee. Some days I drink this. I try not to put too much of that into my system, though. DeHaas is here. I want to say a shout out to Haas. Okay, now DeHaas is a new player in Splinterlands. Who has been pinging me in Discord, and we've been chatting about things about Splinterlands. He's getting up and running in Splinterlands. He's a new player that I believe came over from my coverage of Atlas Earth. So if you have some, some little, some cards, extra BCX of CC of of cards that you don't have a purpose for, show DeHoss some love. That's his in-game name, DAHOSS. He's getting up and running in Splinterlands, and he's enjoying the journey so far. So thanks for dropping by, DeHoss. It's been good chatting with you this past week. Keep it up. Crypto Beaver's here. Welcome to the Beaver, Win Beaver. Leandro Cardoso, hopefully I said that right, is here. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon to yourself. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be in this fine world. Once again, as always, I appreciate you spending time with us. Crypto Beaver says, who's planning to get the Yaba pickle? I had thought about that, and you know what? This is interesting to talk about. If you didn't see, you know what this face reminds me of? That one, there's a TV show where the Canadian guys come on to the screen. Was it The Simpsons or something or other, where these two Canadian guys are on the screen? Anyway, that's the face reminds me of that. The one thing I want to talk about this, and we're not going to go into real detail, but there's several different ways. I'm not necessarily talking about the card itself. It's interesting. It's funny. I sent a picture of it to my brother yesterday, made us both laugh. And obviously it's made to go right with the Yaba card, which I probably have no hope of getting due to the cost involved and poor card or pack opening luck. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was everything they're baking in as far as using different things, like, what do I want to say? More uses for land, basically, because the, let's see here. And I can't pull it up right now. Okay, so Aura, the final one will require a bunch of Aura vouchers. That is the black foil auction. This second one actually requires more Aura as well, plus vouchers, plus obviously DEC. So there's several different ways you can go in and get this, but the main thing is they're baking in more uses for Aura, because what I saw and what I've seen is an oversupply of black foil potions on the market. Now, you may say a lot of people, a lot of people are saying, well, let's go to the market, other items. They're saying, well, there's not enough potions for all the card packs. This may be true. However, whenever I look at the market, and I'm producing Aura, right? Whenever I look at the market and I see potions sitting at under 6 cents, and these potions cost me about 6 cents worth of materials to produce, then that tells me, you know, yeah, Gold Matters is a big dog. They probably are producing this for a little bit less than I can produce it because they have a lot more lands and everything. But I still find it hard to say that, you know, you're producing it for much less than 4 or 5 cents. You're only making a cent or two on each potion, okay? And there's a huge supply of these, okay? I know this market fluctuates a lot, but a lot of people are already looking at the fact that, well, once we get done and the bulk of people have opened the packs, and there is an argument for, you know, they've built in several different mechanisms for people to continue open packs over the lifespan of this set. There's going to be, you know, should I keep creating black foil potions with my land? Well, what they've done is they've started baking in more options to use your Aura for, so it gives you the reason to keep producing Aura on your land, which I just did a claim earlier today off my land, and I think I made about almost 3,000, about 3,000 Aura, and that was like from a 5-day claim off of my land. So I'm trying to adjust my lands in one region where I am producing Aura. I'm losing, it's costing a bunch of other materials. So I'm trying to get to a position where I have enough wood, and I only have to buy stone, basically. That's where I'm trying to get into position. So we can go, let's just go back here. Let's check back in chat and see what everybody else is saying. I kind of got off on a tangent, but I am interested in the pickle card. But, you know, I only have the first round of buys. You will be limited by how much SPS you have staked. So you can buy one for every 1,000 SPS you have staked. I have 150,000 staked, so I can only buy 150 copies. That'll only get me a level 7 if I wanted to buy all those. I would at least want a level 8 where the slow comes in. Love a level 10 where the heal comes in. So it's a good supplementary. I think it's a well-designed card. Who doesn't love a card with slow and heal on it, you know? Plus only 4 mana. I think we're seeing, we've talked about this with Conclave Arcana. There's going to be a lot more power in that Little League rule set, right? So I'm interested. Exactly how I go about it, I don't know, but I'll at least get a few. I would like to get at least a level 8. Be nice to have one of those black foils, right? Gathering Magic says, I hear he's a big deal. Yeah, if anybody's not aware, Matt had made his Rooney back in the day whenever they did the Roonies. I didn't buy a Rooney. And his Rooney ended up with a pickle in its hand instead of a sword or whatever. And so that's what this is about. And of course, everybody's making the big dill joke. Jesse Norris is in the house. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Says, hi, Bronze. Can I ask an Atlas Earth question, or would you prefer to ask it another time? Sunday, tomorrow at noon, we're having an Atlas Earth show. So stop by. I prefer to keep this show on. I originally did them both at the same time, and I found it too hard going back and forth between the two topics. So I separated it, and I made a whole nother live stream on Sundays at noon. So please drop by then, but I'm glad to see you. Bolts85 says, nah, I am not touching or grabbing nothing. Paul Taylor's in the house. Welcome, Paul. Thanks for dropping by. Gathering says rare summoners going up makes the dollar packs much more attractive. Yeah, well, see, that's the other thing in my head. That's the reason I immediately sold off my rare summoners, because I know once those dollar packs kick in, I'm foreseeing an over... I'm seeing a lot of them being on the market, right? Now, a lot of them being on the market will lead to lower costs, logic would say, but we also are in a situation where we have more uses for having multiple summoners. It used to be like, oh, I got my max level summoner, I'm good. Well, you've got now uses for having more summoners, you know, so... we'll see how that goes, but I think the dollar packs will help the situation, and it will help new players like DeHaas, okay? And while I'm on this, we really need to get this bridge for SPS and DEC back up and make it easier. Okay, we've got the mobile app now. We need the mobile app for iOS next. The next big barrier is getting DEC and SPS for new players, and at the risk of sounding like I'm harping on the matter or doing some kind of rant, I want to say it again. We need to get the bridges back up, and I know they're working on it, but in this situation, and I'm not calling out DeHaas, but we started having this discussion about staking SPS and how he asked how he could get some other than playing, right? And I started going, I'm like, it's really too difficult to explain in just chat when I'm just trying to chat for a few minutes, right? We need those bridges back up so new players who come in, they say, hey, I need a little bit of SPS stake so I can make more in the game. I'll just buy some and use PayPal or whatever. We need that. That is a huge blockade for new players coming into the game and not being able to buy SPS or DEC. Okay, off my soapbox. Now, back to chat. DeFizz is in the house. Good day, mate. Thanks for dropping by. Bolt says, I'll give it about 4 to 6 months before we see the full first pullback on card prices. I don't think it'll take that long, but the idea is right. Leandro says, I invested in this past week more than what I did the past 3.5 years. I know I definitely spent more on this set, which was like it's been between $400 and $500 just for card packs, which I'm not even going to play. Right? I got one black foil. Somebody pinged me to do a trade and offered a trade, then pulled back on that trade. I'll probably end up selling it. If at very least, I'll probably end up just putting it on land. Because like I said, I was trying to, let's go over here. I've been really working on this area because I have a rare land that's producing aura, and you can see that I'm in the deficit on wood. I have to buy stone because I don't have any land that's producing stone, and I'm good on iron. But my grain is slowly going down. So I'm just working. This whole land game is just kind of working with your lands and making sure that you're producing enough. I have to sell a little bit of grain to buy stone once in a while. So I want to keep that ore coming in, because what I foresee back on the pickle talk, it's not just this card. They've talked about they're now going to start having these types of cards available and multiple uses for the aura. So my main point here is that I think that the midnight potions, I'm not going to make midnight potions anymore. They're going for a cost that is cheaper than I can make them. And I'm producing. I have 2 lands that is producing aura, and with my cost currently as a little dog on the porch, right? With like 22, I think I have 22 plots. I can produce that aura or the potions for about 6 cents each. They're going for cheaper than I can make them. So logic would say I'm just going to buy potions, midnight potions, when I need them in open packs, and I'm just going to amass my aura. My aura is going to be used for things like the pickle card and whatever comes next. But they started talking about it during the town hall and some other different shows. I've listened to more shows this week. Shout out to Walking Keys. He's back on the air, and he even pinged me the other night, and it was like after I went to bed. The problem with the time he does his show is that it's after I go to bed. So on a normal basis, it would be okay on like a Friday or Saturday night, but during the week, I get up at 5, so I got to be in bed by 10. So yeah. So shout out to him. He's back on the air. I love listening to him talk to people because he's so laid back and he has a much different demeanor than me. I could only shoot for like being more like Walking Keys, right? So anyway, off on a tangent. Let's see what everybody else is saying. DeFizz and JB want me to hear me talk about the pickle. I did. I think it's a good card. What I'm more exciting for, I love a card that has slow on it, and I love a card that has heal. Even though it's self heal, I don't know how useful that will be. Looks like a backup tank in like a low mana match. I like the look of it, but like I said, I'm more interested in the whole mechanism they're putting into the game to offer, as a landholder and a producer of potions and whatever else. And I keep forgetting the word aura. That's why I keep going back here. As a producer of aura, I'm more interested in this whole mechanism they're putting into place of being able to amass I can just go along and make my aura, and I can buy midnight potions when I need to from people who are big dogs. They can produce them cheaper and sell them cheaper than I can make them when I need to. Like I'll say, I'll buy a gold foil pack or an arcade pack, and I will buy 5 potions. They can make them cheaper than I can, and I'll keep my aura going, and I'll use it on cards and stuff like this, right? So I'm more excited about that. We can take a look at these numbers. Let's go back to chat. Let me get a little drink here. Sudion says, at Bolts, I doubt it since conflicts will keep card supply scarce. Dang, I can't even rent cards. Yeah, I mean, we're back into a situation where there's really, people want the new cards. There's not a whole lot of cards to play with. People have opened a lot of packs, but they're using the cards for various uses, right? Playing in Modern. Then you have to consider, well, what am I going to put on my battle wagons, right? They're coming up. It's just, there's so many things going on in the game that you just have to stop and think, you know, what do I get the most value out of? And I'm not talking about earning money. Earning money is fine on the side. A lot of us got into this because there's a possibility to earn a little bit of money in the game. But what brings you value? What do you enjoy doing in the game? I enjoy the whole land process, right? I do enjoy the card, and I'm going to jump in and do, like Bolt said, some ghost card tournaments. But at this moment, I have to decide what to do with my money. I still have a decent amount of DC. I haven't taken any out. Let's go to, oh, here it is. It's right on my favorites. Splinter Trader. Okay, so I did put 50,000 extra DEC in here. I sold some cards off this week, new ones that I popped into packs, which I might still open packs and sell them on the market. But my daily profits, I don't know why it signed me out. Okay, so I'm up to almost 350,000. When you look at this number, 300,000 is what I've total put in. So 42,000 is my profit DEC wise, and that would be since the end of January when I started. And I didn't really talk about this for like a month because I wanted to get in and experience it and make sure it wasn't a rug pull and all this before I started talking about it on videos. And then thereafter, I started talking about it. And we've seen a lot more people go in, but we've also seen some people pull out DEC to go ahead and buy Conclave Arcana packs. I just love getting that DEC every day too much to... I'm keeping, as usual, a spreadsheet. So this is a spreadsheet I keep on a daily basis, and you can see that I forgot to put that I added 50,000 yesterday, but you can see that 42,000 of that is profit. So, and it, first of all, not investment advice, okay? But, and I'm on the wrong page. But I used to love renting my cards out back in the day because I would get in, you know, there was a point in time where I was making more DEC back when DEC was given out instead of SPS than just playing the game. So I stopped for a period of time and rented all my cards out, right? I was making, I don't know, 1,500 to 3,000 DEC a day. I called it great, right? But I ran into problems. I wasn't able to really, I had to rent cards to play my guild brawls, you know? So anyway, I like making that DEC on a daily basis, and I found that this is pretty easy to do. Once again, not investment advice. He could pull the rug out at any point. Trust me, if he does, I'll be online talking about it. So let's jump back into chat and see what everything is. Gathering the Magic says, DeHaas, what is your in-game name? His in-game name is DeHaas, spelled just exactly like it is in chat here. I asked that too, and I pointed out to him, whenever you do any trades on the blockchain, sending people things, make sure you double check the spelling of the name and make sure you've got it right, because sometimes people's name in YouTube and on Discord is different to what their actual Splinterlands name is. So I sent him over a pack yesterday, a new Conclave Arcana pack. He got some decent cards, nothing excellent, but pretty cool. Just a welcome to the game type pack. Let's see here. Bolts85 says, it's right, I forgot about conflicts. Yeah, they're coming up pretty soon. I don't know how long. DeHaas says, thanks for the shout out. It's been fun so far. JB's here. Welcome, JB. Posting on wagons don't exclude you from using cards, do they? Let's see here. I'm not sure about that. No, I think if you put them on the, I don't know. I forgot. I've forgotten the answer to that one. Can you use cards if they are on the battle wagons? That's the question. Our Faded Glory Play says, agreed. I bought a few dollar packs this week just because one BCX of Archon is almost the price of 2 packs. Joffrey Jones says, Pickle Rick. Yeah, that's a good reference as well. Leandro says, let us know your in-game name to DeHaas. Once again, it is DeHaas. Jesse Norris says, can you play this free or is it pay to win? Jesse, well, I would say just like any other collectible card game, it is the more cards you have to use, the better chance, and the more cards you have to select from to use, and the higher they are leveled, the better your chances of winning. So, yes, but that applies to all collectible card games, right? So, but furthermore, you can play for free. You can try it out. What it really is just like a lot of free-to-play games. The free-to-play part is meant to give you a chance to try it out and then decide whether you like it, you don't like it. If you like it, then you buy a $10 spell book. This gives you more selection of cards, and it gives you some free packs, and it gives you some staked SPS for the first month so you can make a little bit more. And it explains the game to you more. You know, it's just like any other collectible card game. It's built around buying packs, figuring out how you like to play the game, buying cards on the card market. You can come over here to the card market, buy cards, and you can select all the way from cheap cards to expensive cards. You can go from the oldest stuff to the newest stuff. And if you're playing in modern, where most people are playing now, well, not most people, where if you're coming into the game, that's where you're going to be playing is modern, because Wild has all the old stuff. Then you select from the newest card. And the Conclave Arcana set was just released this past week. Sudion says, if we can produce a potion from lands that transforms a single older card to the Conclave Arcana template, that would be great. Wow, that would be incredible. Speaking of potions, they were talking about the potion, the newer type potion that's getting ready, that they're working on right now, which would reduce the cooldown on cards that had been used in survival, but there'll be a secondary use for that, which could help the 3-day cooldown on cards, which I hate. I know there's some kind of specific use for it, but I've been playing land lately, right? And I'll do an upgrade. So for instance, a common upgrade I do is a lot of my lands have the max gold foil Chaos Legion commons on it. I upgrade them to max gold foil rares from Chaos Legion, right? I pull that common off. I want to go ahead and put it on another piece of land because I have other land that needs cards on it. But I've got to wait 3 days. I hate it. I know there's some kind of specific reason for it, probably to reduce abuse of something or other. But as a land player, I hate it. But my main point there is these new types of potions. Matt had said that possibly a good secondary or supplemental use would be to reduce the cooldown on those. So, okay. Gathering says, sent you some cards, DeHaas. Enjoy. Let us know if you have any questions. Yeah, one of the other things I love about this game is the community, okay? The community is generally by far one of the better communities I've been part of over my lifetime as far as gaming goes. There are some people that come into the Discord and kind of are salty, but for the most part, most people in the Discord and the community are very helpful and a great group to stick around with. Hence why I've been having this Saturday morning stand-up live stream for more than 2 years, because I look forward to talking to everybody that likes playing the game. So, and I love talking. Once in a while, people ping me in Discord, ask questions. Love it. But I love the community as well. So. DeHaas says, thanks, Gathering. Been enjoying your videos too over the last week. Nice. Bolt says, Yaba Matt said not to worry about buying SPS. Just have fun, new players. Well, here's the thing. You get in and you start learning the mechanics of the game, and you can't stop that progress. You can't just say, well, don't worry about it, okay? You've got a new player, and the new player starts playing, and they start earning SPS. Obviously, one of the top questions you're going to have is, how can I make more SPS? Well, the simple answer is stake more, buy and stake SPS. Then what's the next question? Well, how do I buy it? You know? And then that leads to this whole long explanation that people who are Web3 learned or are used to Web3 are used to this conversation, but people we're trying to attract, play the game, are not used to this whole long process. And frankly, I'm tired of the process. I was using that bridge for years to buy SPS and DEC, and now it's gone. And I'm just not using that process anymore. I've been, all my buys lately have just been with credits, and I know they do it on the back end, but you know, I'm just not going to go through that process anymore, you know? Lucky Dwarfs here. Love to see new names in the chat. Thanks for dropping by. Says, today I bought a black foil Vicious Giraffe. Vicious Giraffe for the win. Love that card. It's more, I guess I love the artwork on it. For $135, and I believe it was a good decision. I think you know, one of the newest things they've added obviously is the different foils, and I think for traders and when you start looking at even if you I'm getting tongue-tied. So here's the thing. If you go in and you're a brand new player, or you're any player, let's go ahead and reset. And am I the only one that's having problems with the new filters? Because I can't find the new Conclave Arcana cards very easily. Let's go to core. Let's go to regular foil. And let's go to, is Vicious Giraffe? See, I'm doing what I should be doing, but I'm just not getting what I should be pulling up. Let's go over, and I've been having to go to I was over on Peak Monsters on these graphs. Either way, I think my main point here is, if you're new, always check the gold foils when you're checking regular foils, BCX, because you might be able to get a couple gold foils for the same price of a max. It might be cheaper to buy one of the foils versus buying standard BCX cards. So yeah, the new filters are all screwed up for me. Unless I'm doing something wrong. Look at this. Okay, so I've got all selected. I've got Conclave Arcana, and I've got regular foil, and I've got common. And it's only giving me one card. And I'm on the market under card sales. I'm not under, my items. So I can't really find it. What I was looking for was the Vicious Giraffe. And see, it's pulling all black foils and gold foils up and not pulling up standard foils. See, I can select gold foils, and I can select black foils. But if I go to regular, it's not giving me. And this is all 3 epics. Yeah. My filters are completely screwed up, and I can't. Let's go back to land. I'm using secondary. Whenever I do all my buys, it's easier over here on Monster Market. I've been buying my cards on Monster Market. Let's go to Conclave Arcana, and let's go to regular foil and common. Okay, so this one actually, it works over on Monster Market. I don't know what's wrong in the game, but so Vicious Giraffe, you need 400 of these to make a max level. And I'm not saying when you're brand new to the game, you need a max level. I would say you want to shoot for like silver level, which would be like level 5 for commons. But I'm doing the math here. So if we have, just say 0.09, just 9 cents times 400, you're looking at $36 for a max common, right? And then you say, well, black foil costs $135. So there are other benefits to the black foil. I think the black foils are going to maintain their value, if you're asking that, because there's not a whole lot of them out there. They give you bonuses in game as far as when you play, when you win. They give you bonuses on land. As far as the prices, yeah, sure, they're going to fluctuate just like everything else. And it's hard to base, I think back to Boltz's point, I don't think we're going to see a median line of what the cards are worth until we hit like a few months down the road. I don't know if it's going to be 5 or 6 months, but a couple months down the road, I think the majority of the card packs will have been open. Yeah, they do have a mechanism in place now to keep people open in a few now and again, especially towards the end, whenever we have a lot of people going in on the legendaries, which I foresee, because after all the airdrops have happened and all the new legendaries are up, there's going to be a lot more reasons to open those legendary packs. So hopefully I can't tell you if it was $135 worth. I got one black foil. I think it's sitting at like $235. Tried to sell it. Nobody bought it. I pulled it down to do that trade and try to reduce the cooldown. But I still have it. I'm probably going to stick it on land, frankly, because it's just a common. It's not going to make a whole lot of difference in my play in wild. So I can probably use that. The problem is it's life. I've got a couple lands that could use it, but most of my lands are grain producing lakes or rivers. Most of my lands are lakes or rivers, and it's not life. I need earth or water. Anybody's got some good deals on max level rare earth or water cards? Gold foil from Chaos Legion, let me know, because I'm slowly increasing my production power on all my lands. Anybody have a trade they want to just ping me? Let's see here. Bolts 85 says, selling black foils? Yeah, I tried to. Nobody bought it, though. Gathering says, wow, common dual rebellion summoners have doubled. Who would have predicted that? Yep. Well, I mean, I think we all did. I mean, you did, obviously, in your show you do on a bi-weekly basis. I think you've been doing a little bit more of the card watch, market watch. But, there's just so few, right? I think you definitely want to have a selection of different summoner archons. The new ones are great, but you're still going to want to have some of those rebellion summoners as well. So... as we all know, the numbers of rebellion is pretty small. JB says, I'm in the process of getting out of Tostrington, consolidating into just 2 regions. Well, let me know. Shoot me a ping in Discord if you got any deals in Tostrington you might want to propose. Gathering says, can't wait to get my first black foil. Yeah, I felt myself kind of lucky. I did, 30 something or other arcane packs, and I got 1 common black foil. I got 4 legendary gold foils. I sold 1 of them this week. Gathering says, Walking Keys is great. So glad he is back streaming. Yeah, I like listening to him. He's just very laid back, has a different outlook compared to most of us streamers. And we all have a slightly different outlook, right? So I enjoy listening to his stream. It's just too late for me to catch, live. So I listen to it in the morning when I get up and work out. Yeah, hopefully Gank will be back soon. They kind of they pair up very well. You know, I like Gank's sense of humor. Very very dry. He doesn't say a whole lot, but when he does kick in something, sometimes it'll make me laugh. Bolt says never sell black foils. It's frowned upon in the Splinterlands community. Do as you please. Just kidding. Lady Sharon's here. Welcome, Sharon. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate the support. You know what? I've talked for 3/4 of an hour. You know what it's time to do? It is time to give away something. Let's go to the wheel of names. Good old wheel of names. Okay, if you'd like to get in the Splinterlands related drawing, please put SPS to the moon in chat, SPS in caps, and get your name in on a drawing. And it's a surprise drawing. And after the winner is picked, I'll let you know what it is. So SPS to the moon in chat and get your name into the drawing, and then we will look back at chat and continue. Until that time, I will take a drink. Karen, it's a new name. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Like I said, I like to see new names in the chat. King Cobra. A lot of new names today. DeHaas. Supreme. I got talking and forgot that I had something to give away. Crypto Beaver. Bolts 85. JB, let me get done with this and I'll drop my Discord handle in chat just a minute. Leandro. Our Faded Glory plays. Brandon. Paul. The Fizz. We got a lot of people in on this. JB, after I pick the winner, I'm going to ask you your in-game name. Sudion. And we got more people popping on too. They heard I was giving away something. There's definitely a grapevine in Splinterlands. Lucky Dwarf. 11J, welcome. Chant Nest, welcome. Joffrey Jones, thanks for dropping by as always. JB, oh, I already got JB. Matt Log Videos. Okay, everybody take a look at this list, and if I missed your name, please let me know. I will allow a couple minutes here, and then we'll do the drawing. As I look over at my Discord. Let me know. And as a lot of times happens, this giveaway is sponsored by Trash Panda and his generosity. Gathering says we are like family that show up when you hear free food. Liberty Guy off grid came in just in time. Hey, okay, one more time. SPS to the moon in chat in all caps if you want your name in for a drawing. It is Splinterlands related, so only if you play Splinterlands, you need a Splinterlands account to get this. Yes, Paul, please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I would appreciate it. Yes, Trash Panda is the man. He has been sponsoring probably 80% of the giveaways I do on this channel. Trash Panda has been responsible for. Okay. Liberty Guy, did you want to get in on the drawing? Please put SPS to the moon in the chat. One more minute. The list is up. If you have not, if you don't see your name up there and you want to get it on there, let me know. Forever hold your peace. Ah, yeah. Bolt's using that special emoji that you can get for being a member of my channel and supporting. You can also... Oops, that's the wrong emoji. Let's do this. I used the wrong emoji. I meant to do the SPS one. There's the SPS one. And you can become a member by using that join button down below. Appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. And we are shuffling. Okay, here it goes. Cross your fingers because this is a good prize. Who is it? It is Leandro. Leandro, please, in the chat, put your in-game name, your Splinterlands name, the account I will be sending this card to. Leandro, put your in-game name, and let's see who won this match. I did, and I got 3.15 SPS out of it and 888 glint. And it used that summoner my brother bought me for my birthday, Immortalis. Okay, so Kusamane, and let's go to my items and card collection, and it is a Conclave Arcana promo card, gold foil, level 3 Arcane Skinwalker. Look at that. And I'm going to leave that up for a minute to let me know, make sure that I have that correct. Kusamane. Courtesy of Trash Panda, we have a level 3 Arcane Skinwalker. He put those cards together because at level 3 it picks up Inspire. So I am waiting for Leandro to say that's correct before I click go, send. Is that correct, Kusamane, Leandro/Leandro? Okay, here you go. There it goes. Okay, and we are coming down towards the bottom of the hour. I mean, this went pretty quickly. We can go a few more minutes because I was a little bit late on the stream. Let me scroll back up to see a little bit of chat going on. Chantanest says, hello, is the Conclave Arcana set playable or just the promo cards playable? It's all playable now. The reset button was pressed on modern, and modern is a whole new game now. So I'm hearing a lot of good things about it. In fact, I want to jump in and play some of the the Ghost card, you can play practice sessions to get used to the new cards if you want to, or you can just buy new cards and just jump in. So it is playable now. And congratulations one more time to Leandro. Bolts85 says, on buying SPS, they could run into legal issues if they allow player to buy SPS with credits, but that would solve that issue, I'd say. Well, it all has to do with that bridge. They're working on new bridges. I just think this is a very important thing, and I think them leaving the bridges down for the last 2 weeks is a bad thing for new players, because we're starting to see I wanted to go back to these charts and just I know it's getting towards the bottom of that half hour, but we will say that the transactions have went way up over the last week. Obviously, people buy, sell, trading cards. And look here at the battles, okay? The transactions as far as modern have went way down. And the transactions for wild have went way up, and I'm noticing it. I'm earning less SPS per win in wild, and the competition is tougher because we're seeing a lot of those people that cycled out of modern with max Chaos Legion decks going into wild because it's free this week or this season, right? It might be a little bit different next season whenever the fee is implemented again, but I wanted to point that out. We are getting a lot more wild battles, and obviously no survival battles because that was turned off to get worked on. We are seeing an increase in the counts, and we are seeing an increase on new players as well, which is a good thing. And the market is getting a workout. So I'll leave you with that. Other than that, thanks for dropping by. Once again, congratulations to Leandro. Chantiness says, I said I was going to drop my Discord handle. Before I go, let me... This is my Discord handle. Username, rather. Remember, the last O is a 0. Okay? So, and if you see a Bronze Dragon in game, that's me, because I have 3 accounts. I have Bronze Dragon, all just the word. I have Bronze Dragon with a 0 at the beginning, and I have a Bronze Dragon with a 0 at the end. 3 different accounts with different usages. So thanks everybody for dropping by. Congratulations to Leandro. Big thanks go out as always to Trash Panda. And hey, I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and I'll see you in Conclave Arcana.